It's up. Up and good.
Some weird things on this list.
Yeah, there are. So I'm looking at some weird ones.
Trying to think of some outside of the box ones that I could throw on there.
I know.
I have a dishonorable mention actually.
Really? You have a dishonorable mention?
Yeah.
Why is this on here?
What?
Why is the Anne Frank house on here first? I feel like that's. I don't know.
They have to be real, right? Like I can't do a fictional one.
I'm thinking because yeah, they gotta be real. I would like to do a fictional one, but
I,
that would be a
I
whole
was about to
different
slap
list.
Hogwarts on there, and then I was like, wait a minute.
I'd have
Hogwarts
to
is not
throw up
real.
my whole list if you want to do fictional ones. But that talk about
I
a
mean, Death
boring
Star would
list.
be
Yeah, talk about a boring list though. Top 5
what?
fake man-made
Fictional
structures.
man-made structures. I don't know. That would
Oh,
be pretty
spoiler! No one's here right now, but I was
exciting.
gonna say spoilers for anyone that's here. They know.
Oh yeah, honestly.
I have an 8 right now.
I'm at 7.
The problem is the um, chance that you have the same 8 are probably pretty high.
Yeah, we definitely have some overlap. I feel like Hogwarts.
What
Like,
about
how do they get the shot? Like, it's got to be someone
look
had
at
to
what
build
about
something.
Universal? Doesn't Universal have a Hogwarts?
Yeah, that's kind of lame though.
Well, then you're right. You're out of luck.
Yeah, I mean she is pretty cool.
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah, we can sign.
All right, well then we'll start recording soon.
All right.
I wish I knew what that meant. Okay. Let's start soon then. Let's start recording just to make it simple. I can start recording in 20 seconds. So I'll start the timer in 20 seconds. All right. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
You guys doing?
It's good to be back, Chris. It's good to be back. We missed a day on
It's
Friday.
good to be back.
Um,
That's right. I forgot actually that we
yeah, I
missed
forgot we
on
missed a day
Friday.
too. Just got caught away from me. All of a sudden, I looked at the watch and I was like, "Dang, I'm not gonna be able to pod today." But Chris, where you at right now? What's up?
I'm down in the Outer Banks. Cape Hatteras was slightly unnerving because there was a tropical storm that came through.
Oh, nice. Not at the
Didn't
right
end up
time.
being too bad. But I woke up on Monday morning at like 4:00 and I thought like our house might fall down. It was a little scary, but
it's bad
it's
up in
all
here too.
settled down. I heard that it was pouring up.
Yeah,
there
I'm
too.
off of work early, so we moved the
That's
live
nice.
stream up. That's nice. That was nice. And yeah, it's been storming all week, but I don't mind. I don't mind it too much.
Well, we just picked a tough week to go.
Yeah,
got the short end of the
stick. You said you had a good
stick.
day. You said you had a good day yesterday, right?
Yesterday was supposed to rain like all day, and
And it
then
didn't.
at like 10 in the morning, and it was beautiful all day.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, we got, if worst comes to worst, we got one perfect each day in.
That's good. That's all you need.
I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get right into it. A lot happened when we were gone. You want to start with the games first, or do you want me to talk about my team first? Because a trade happened. It's up to you.
Let's just get out of the way. You
All
can
right.
do your.
All right. The Kemba Walker trade happened. Kemba Walker and the 16th pick and a 2025 second round pick for Al Horford, Moses Brown, and a 2023 second round pick. And I woke up and like probably like 10 o'clock on Friday, and I was like, the heck just happened? I was just like, it was just, I wasn't like shocked or wasn't like disappointed. I was just like, Al Horford's back. Like, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's go. I just kind of have no direction. Like, we saved a couple million. That's cool. Now we need a point guard. That's not really cool. But we got Al Horford back, and that's cool. So the silver lining's always just, well, we have Al Horford back. I don't know why it is, and he's 35 years old, but whatever. Al Horford.
I thought it was kind of weird that you guys gave up a first round pick.
Just
That
to
seems
take,
off
I
to
think
me.
it's to take the Kemba money. Like, basically.
Yeah, no, it is. But I still thought that you would be able to get something more for Kemba. Like, I don't know. Usually with these trades, it's like just picks.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just a lot different. Also, who's Moses Brown? I literally don't even know who that is.
Apparently, he played well for the OKC Thunder. He's really young. I think he's like 21 or 22, and he's a center. So I guess now we have 3 centers. But, but anyways, I actually like him. I've seen a lot of good things about him since the trade, but of course it's a little biased. I've only been reading, it's not like I've been reading bad stuff about him. But, anyways, so I was actually like, not a bad like regulation, like a little thrown in there. But I get what you're saying. How it's mainly with these old contracts and these old guys that it's mainly just like a swap for swap. But I guess to save the 10 million, we had to give up the 16th pick, which
that's fair.
Which I'm okay with. Like this draft wasn't very deep, anyways, so I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, and I mean obviously that's why OKC did it. Like they're taking on the money, but they'll just take the pick. They have no use for Al Horford either. I don't think they ever.
No, and they don't have any use for
him,
Kemba.
To be honest.
They have no use for Kemba, but I don't.
No, they really don't.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they can flip him. Like I think Boston looked around with this Kemba trade, and it was like Horford for cheaper and 1 less year, or probably like I'm sure they offered Porzingis, right? Porzingis was probably offered. I don't want Porzingis. I'd rather take Al Horford than Porzingis.
Seriously?
Yeah, because he doesn't have as many years on his contract. So because Porzingis could still suck, or he could do well. But the chance that he sucks, then we're stuck with him for 4 years or 3 years. And with Al Horford, we're only stuck with 2, and we know he's just
It's true.
is what he is. Like, he's Al Horford.
You're a big Al Horford stan, right? This time on
Yeah.
the Celtics.
Yeah, I loved him on the Celtics. I was sad when he was gone, but it made sense. Like, we weren't gonna pay him the money when he left, and now we just have him for cheaper.
Hmm.
And I don't know. He's like always he's the locker room guy. No one's got any problems with Al
Hmm.
Horford. Why would yeah. So I have no problems with him, and I guess you're right. I guess I am a little bit of a stand for Al Horford.
It's also Brad Stevens' first like big move as the
Yeah,
is he president of basketball ops or GM or both?
I think they're the same thing in the NBA. Are they not?
Okay.
Like president of
I
basketball
don't know.
operations, I guess. I don't know. I'm excited to see who they get as a coach.
He's the top dog.
Yes, he's a top. He made the trade. He made the trade. So that is interesting. It's interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see if he actually likes Marcus Morris or Marcus Smart, because like the whole
Mm.
time he just kind of had to play him. So let's see if he actually likes him or not. See if he gets traded. I kind of like
Yeah.
realistically. I hope he doesn't get traded, but I you never. I don't know anymore. I know nothing. I'm just
A lot that I've heard has pointed to him getting moved at some point this
yeah.
offseason.
That's what I've been seeing too. With my mindset now with the Celtics, just as long as the Jalen and Jason are happy, this year we're gonna suck anyways this year. So as long as they're happy, do whatever they say they want, so they don't leave in
Mhm.
free agency in 5 years or whatever. That's all I need.
Oh, that's true. And you still don't have a coach.
And we don't have a coach. I always forget that. It's like we just don't have a
I know.
coach now.
It's weird.
It is weird. Like Brad Stevens is not a coach for in the NBA at
Mm.
all, or in
Mm.
college. It's weird. But that I'm
Oh,
leaving
go
that to the
ahead.
professionals. I don't want to research anything. I don't really care. Whoever they hire, I'm just gonna be like, cool. And I'm just gonna ride with it.
Mm. Speaking of coaches, my team also now doesn't have a coach, which I was very happy
Yes.
about. We did
That
not
was
talk about that, right?
no, we didn't. That was more
Okay.
predictable than the Brad Stevens thing, of course. But
Yeah, it was.
go ahead. Say
There
your
were
goodbyes,
rumors that were saying
Scotty
like,
Brooks.
oh, they're gonna keep him around. They're gonna extend him. And I was like, how could you possibly extend him? It's been there for 5 years. He's had pretty good teams, like talent wise. You know, obviously they had their issues. He won nothing in 5 years. How could you extend him? Obviously they didn't, so it's all good. But I'm
have you
with
seen
you where
anything? Oh, you're just like the same way.
I don't even care who they hire, as long as it's not Scott Brooks.
Yeah, and the best part about like about new coaches, well, I guess in the NFL I've never had to deal with a new coach. But yeah, I know. But uh with new coaches, my mindset is just like, look, as long as it's not like some bum that is a known loser, just hire whoever you want. Like maybe they'll be good at coaching, maybe they won't. We'll just hate them in a
Yeah.
year, you know? Like it's so quick with
There was
coaches anyways. Their contracts mean
uh,
nothing. Why would I care who we sign a 4-year contract to? We'll just cut him next year if he sucks.
there is part of me that wants to bring on like younger guy. I don't know, maybe give someone their first chance, just just to see. 'Cause you never know,
And
you
that'd be
could
cool.
strike gold.
I have a hunch. I have no like actual. I haven't seen anything. I have a hunch Stan Van Gundy's coming to Washington
Ugh.
just to ruin your day.
Yeah, that would
Suck.
I would be kicked to the groin.
Especially just getting
I
rid of
would
Scott
not.
Brooks and just be hiring the same guy. You're just hiring the same bozo.
I like Stan Van Gundy, but I do not want him as my coach.
Yeah, he was
Not
not good this
not
year.
with this team at his age.
I can't
It's
believe he
just-
lasted a year. You know, Zion is now 3 years in the league with 3 different coaches.
What a mess.
Yep. And now his
They never
family's telling.
deserved him.
No, now his family's telling the organization he wants out. Oh, that'd be funny. All right, well, let's get into the actual games instead of just some off-season talk that we have all of off-season to talk about. But actual games, the game 7. Let's just start with the better one: the Brooklyn Nets, the Milwaukee Bucks. That was electric. What an electric game. I wish we had done a pod that night. I wish we had done a pod just to see like the instant reactions, because every shot was like, it seemed like the most important shot of the game.
Like watching Kevin Durant is, I know he airballed the last shot. You literally think that every shot he takes is going to go in. It
Yep.
doesn't matter where it is from the floor. Like, he'll chuck it up with second left on the shot clock, 3 feet behind the line, fading away, and you're just like, it's going to go in.
That's
Then,
the
like,
funny.
the shot he hit at the end of the game, it's like, it doesn't even matter. Just get him the ball and let him shoot. It's going to go in.
That the missed shot was probably the most shocking thing about the whole game.
Hmm?
He missed that shot, and I was just like, that was the last thing I could have ever expected. I never would
I
have
love his
expected.
face, too, as he's looking at it.
That was my face.
Such a
It
great
was.
screen
Yeah,
grab.
I think the whole world had the same face of just like.
Yeah, just.
And I remember just sitting there in silence. I'm just like, they just lost. They
Mhm.
like that is
And they go.
a nail in the coffin. They lost. Like that sucks. If there was any
Harden-
real Brooklyn Nets
Ah,
fans.
it's the blame on Harden.
Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
I was just saying you got to put a lot of the blame on Harden because he did not, unless he was like playing hurt, which he
Harden had like
could have been.
he had like
but
he had like
was
one leg.
Not good.
He had like
last couple
he had like a
games.
leg and a half in the last game, game 7. Game
I guess
6,
that's fair,
he
yeah.
had one leg. Game 6, he had one leg and could not do anything.
They should have listened to the Reggie Miller take where he was like, "Did you see that before
Yes.
game 6 or after game
Yes,
5?"
that
Where he
they
was
should
like,
throw
"Oh,
away
they
game
should
6.
rest Harden and Durant for game 6, so they're fully healthy for game 7."
I mean, with a
People
situation
are like,
like
"Oh,
that,
he's right."
with a situation like that, it wasn't the worst take in the world. It was pretty stupid, but it wasn't the worst take in the world. It was pretty stupid though. Like of course, you play to win, and it's Kevin Durant who just dropped 50 in Game 5, so you got to play them both. Like it didn't. You had to play them both. I mean, props to Kevin Durant. I love everyone's now freaking out, like all the LeBron super fans, the LeBron sexuals, that that they're like, oh, you're giving props to KD, but when LeBron lost, you just said he wasn't no GOAT, like he can't do it on his own.
It's not true.
When did that ever happen?
Oh.
I was thinking about like, when did that ever happen? When did we ever see LeBron drop 50 and go, man, LeBron gets just enough help.
Doesn't have it anymore.
And he just doesn't have it anymore. No one ever says that. Everyone always says the same thing, which is LeBron needs more help. He can't do it all alone, which is exactly what we just said about Kevin Durant.
Well, it doesn't matter. Like, whatever, they're going to try to make up stories just to put LeBron on the pedestal no matter what. He doesn't get enough respect when he does, actually.
Every moment I go on Twitter now after the don't let Twitter ruin your day podcast is that it's just gotten me so frustrated every time I look at this. Every time I look at it, I'm just like, people. The best is the Devin Booker stuff. People act like everything we've said about Devin Booker the past 3-4 years have been true. It's like, yeah, he can't win games. Oh, all of a sudden now he's winning games. We're supposed to apologize for him not winning games the first couple years.
I don't, and like people will just complain that their guys are getting slandered when they're not getting slandered. The only guys who actually get like aggressively chirped at is Paul George, and I don't know who's another player that like
Rudy Gobert.
Really,
Rudy Gobert and Paul George are definitely,
and he deserves it.
And both of them deserved it. And like right now, Paul George is going off, and props to Paul George. I actually like seeing him going off because I think it's funny. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna like. It doesn't mean a year ago when he blew a 3-1 lead. It doesn't mean it didn't happen now. You know,
or in the next big game that he doesn't show up for. Like,
yeah, it's not like,
gonna get chirped at.
But the Devin Booker stuff drives me bonkers because these Suns fans are crawling out of the woods because they've been hibernating for the past 10 years, and they come out and they're like, "Oh, you should have given Devin Booker props when he scored 70 points." Well, he lost that game. He lost he hasn't been able to do
all of Instagram and Twitter when he scored 70 was like, "Oh, Devin Booker,
yes,
king, he's so amazing."
He still gets props for. But it's just frustrating. They're like, him.
Don't let it ruin your day.
I know. But it's him. It's who's the other one? That's Trae Young too. It's like, yeah,
Mhm.
Trae Young. Trae Young was like the poster child for he's just gonna get good stats and have a shitty team. And now all of a sudden he has a good team. I'm not gonna apologize for saying he had good stats and a shitty team.
No, yeah, you're right. You're
Like
letting it
why?
ruin your day.
It's alright. It's alright that it ruined my
Take your own
day.
advice.
I know, but it has to be said. If it's because it's not said by anyone on Twitter, it has to be said that people are just idiots.
Mm.
So
We could talk about it every podcast if we really wanted to.
we could look on Twitter and
I think I think I said it on the last one that especially during the NBA playoffs, it's like the worst that it can be.
yeah, because every hot take is expanded for the hottest take of all time. Everyone just has to be hotter than the next one, and they're like,
Mhm.
we told you Devin Booker was the next Kobe. It's like, all right, please.
I
calm
think
down.
people are actually stupid though. It's not like people like Skip Bayless are just tweeting stuff to get a rise out of like Shannon Sharp and whatever. Like Twitter is just people being honest and they're just all dumb.
That's the
That
worst
and
part.
trolls.
Is like they tweet things and they actually mean it. And so, I don't think it's gonna happen because he's poop. But if Ben Simmons is good next year, are we gonna have to apologize
Yes.
for Ben Simmons for getting
There'll be
6
a
points
whole
in a game
apology
7?
campaign. There'll be a
If
whole
if
apology
Ben
campaign
Simmons
for
has
Ben Simmons.
3 good games in a row in the playoffs next year, do we have to apologize for him playing bad this year? How about he
plays well in
apologizes?
if he plays well in the regular season, we're gonna have to apologize for it.
Oh god,
If he goes off for like 40 points, people are gonna be like, "Oh, Ben Simmons doesn't deserve all the hate." Happens every time.
Yeah, I want an apology from Trae Young, Devin Booker, all the guys, and apologize to me for having to deal with all your stupid fans that like. And the worst is when they're like, the worst is when they get into it too. Like they're after a game like, oh, I shouldn't have been disrespected all these years ago. It's like, dude, you were 20.
When Booker didn't make the All-Star game,
Yes, and he was like,
that
oh,
was
so it's like,
disaster.
and
Like, yeah, I get it. You want to make the All-Star game, but
one of my favorite
relax.
tweets is, hey, reminder, Devin Booker didn't make an All-NBA team. It's like, yeah, because he didn't deserve to make an All-NBA team.
Yeah, we talked about that. We covered it. Like, only 15 guys that make it, and he's not. I don't think he's top 15. So.
Well, that was my extended rant for the day.
Yeah, we let that happen.
I know it's all right.
It's all your fault too.
Look, I just feed into it. I just can't wait. I think we should do next top 5 should be top 5 people we are going to have to eventually apologize to because they have one good game.
Yeah.
Top 5 people who should apologize to us for ruining stuff on Twitter.
Yeah. 5 people that make Twitter
a nightmare.
Yeah,
that would actually not be a bad list. It could get some. It could be pretty funny. Anyways,
actually wouldn't. Yeah.
Anyways, the other game 7 of the Atlanta Hawks and 76ers. Speaking of Ben Simmons, he should be playing in China. He's garbage.
The stat that I keep seeing that is the craziest to me is the amount of field goals that he attempts in the fourth quarter of games.
He doesn't even try.
He doesn't shoot.
No.
I don't know how you can have your point guard not. And I generally try to defend Ben Simmons because there's so much more to his game than offense, and that's what people are always going to focus on. But at the same time, you can't have a guy out there that
yes,
can't
at some point you have to score. You
points.
Can't be a fat 0 in the fourth quarter of a game 7 when you have a wide open dunk on the baseline.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, like, I don't know what the process is dead.
They have to trade.
Where do they
Ben
go
Simmons,
from here?
right?
Where do they go from here?
No, like, I think realistically, because as you said, I do think he is a good player. He locked down Trae Young until the end. And he's such a good defender. He's a good passer too. I just don't understand who taught him to shoot. Who taught him to shoot?
It's really hard to believe because he's gotten worse, actually.
He has gotten worse. And the fact, like, I understand Giannis can't shoot. He is 7 feet tall. Ben Simmons is also very tall, but Giannis is built like the Slenderman. Giannis, I
Hmm.
mean, Ben Simmons is built like a normal human being who can shoot a basketball.
Right.
I don't understand how he can't do it. Or try. Or why not try? I don't understand why he can't try.
Really doesn't make sense. Because you just can't have a guy out there that's afraid to shoot. That's what it's turning into. If he's not shooting at all in the fourth quarter, means he's afraid to do it.
He like man, it would be so much more fun if he was on the Houston Rockets right now. He just had his own team and James Harden was on the
Hmm.
Sixers. That'd actually be cool.
Yeah.
But I just like you have to trade him. I don't know what you trade him for.
Gotta do something.
I
Can't lose to the Hawks at the one seed.
No, you can't.
Can't.
You especially the Hawks are all a bunch of 22-year-olds.
Hmm.
The 76ers have been doing this for like a decade. This is like a decade in work. The process has been like the past 10 years.
Whole process led up to this game.
Yes,
This game
and they
was a
lost.
culmination of the process, and it failed. Sad, because it's tough to go through, and they had so much hope. But like, I don't know. Next year, we say it's dead. The same thing is probably gonna happen next year. If they don't trade him, still gonna be good in the regular season, and then in the playoffs, it's gonna happen again, and we're gonna have the same conversation.
Yeah, but I unless they make a change, I'm done with all these regular season teams.
Hmm.
If the Bucks lose to the Hawks, society is officially dead. Like I honestly think if the Bucks lose to the Hawks, they should just cancel the regular season.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
They should.
It doesn't matter whatsoever if they lose to the Hawks. But that being said, the Hawks could pull out a couple games.
There's part of me that wants to bet on the Hawks to win the finals.
I
Because the field is so open.
That's I do
Kawhi's
like.
out. Suns are a good team, but they're the Suns, and the Bucks choke.
I'm excited to see these playoffs. I'm glad that none of these teams have been to the finals since like 1958. I'm glad none of these superstars have a ring besides Kawhi. He's the only starter that has a ring,
Hurt.
and he's done. He's not playing. So I'm rooting for the field at this point. I have no affiliation. I have no hatred. I wouldn't even care if the Clippers won, because it's only Paul George, and it would be kind of funny. Like,
Oh, dude, if Paul George won a ring,
I know.
like by himself, that would be
hilarious.
That would be incredible.
That would be so much fun. And so I have it's funny. My brother called me afterwards, and I have no such a weird affiliation because he's all about the players instead of the teams. So when the Brooklyn Nets lost, he called me in hysteria of him just losing his mind. He's like, I can't believe Kevin Durant just lost to friggin' Giannis. But I when they lost to the Bucks, I was like, that's what I wanted. That was the goal. Was once they're out, I can root for anybody. Even the Sixers, I didn't really care if they the Sixers would have been the same as the Hawks. None of them won a wing, and I kind of like Embiid. I don't like the Sixers as a whole because Philadelphia, but I do enjoy Embiid. Ben Simmons we already talked about. They just, I don't know. It's been fun playoffs. Been good playoffs.
I did say towards the end of that game 7, I was like, I almost want the Nets to win just so I do have a rooting interest.
Yeah, you did tell
Then
me.
when they lost, I was like, okay, that feels good. This
Yeah.
is
No,
a
it felt
scenario
good.
that I did want.
Like when I looked at a list, the top 15 selling NBA jerseys, there is one player on it that's still in the playoffs, and I'm guessing it's Kawhi Leonard. That he's still not
Gotta
even
be.
playing. That's not been playing. So that's great for the league. It's bad for Instagram. It's bad for Twitter and stuff. But it's great for
And TV ratings, probably.
and TV. Yeah, but it's great for not
Like actual basketball
yes
fans.
actual basketball fans, not non-casuals as they say. Because all the casuals are upset that everybody's out. But if you're a fan of basketball, the sport, this is the perfect Final Four.
This is what we've been wanting since the start of the playoffs. That's what we were saying. We were like, seems like a good playoffs, but then the Nets, and then the Nets lose,
And not only the
and
start
this
of the
is just
playoffs,
got exactly what we wanted.
this has not been just the start of this playoffs, but the start of probably since the Miami Heat have been formed.
Hmm?
Because since then, it's been Miami Heat, well, LeBron, the Warriors, the Spurs, that one Raptors year that had the Warriors in it, and
Hmm.
then LeBron again. So this has been multiple years into coming where it's all brand new, it's all fresh, and it's funny
I
because you could tell me that you could tell me a time traveler comes in, he goes, whoever wins, like they won't tell you who wins, it doesn't matter because it could be any of them. They'll just never win a title again. I'd be like, all right, that makes sense. Like, all right,
they'll just fade right back
yep,
into
they'll fade
obscurity.
right into
No
into
one cares.
mediocrity. Yes,
Trying to decide who I do want to root for.
I think
The
we
Hawks
need to come
Hawks
together.
do have my Maryland guys. There's
That's
just something
true.
about Atlanta that throws me off.
We need a
Just
podcast
all of
team.
their sports.
Is it Paul George? Are we rooting for Paul George? Are we a Paul George
No,
fan?
I don't want them. The
I don't really want the Suns either. I like the
I just
Bucks.
feel bad for Milwaukee.
I like the Bucks. I like Giannis too. So
Yeah.
I'll root for the Bucks.
Yeah. It's settled then.
All right. The Bucks are the pod. The pod
We're
is the
officially a
pod team.
Bucks podcast
We're
now.
Bucks podcast.
All right. Hopefully we don't curse them or anything.
That would stink. We
Yeah.
oh,
be tough.
by the way, the Utah Jazz lost and no one cares.
I know.
No one gives a shit. No one cares about the Utah Jazz ever. It's the 8th. I think we mentioned him more than any other podcast, and the only time we mentioned him is to say that no one cares.
Mm.
Like they had a defensive player in the year on the floor and blew a 25-point lead, and no one cares.
To a team whose best player is out with
Yes.
injury.
That-
You can't be the 1 seed and lose that series.
Not when
Once
Kawhi's
he
out.
goes out, you
Not when
can't
Kawhi's
lose
out.
that series.
And they're up 0-2. Kawhi's out.
Uh.
He doesn't even play. Paul George brings it back and wins.
Yeah, they should just. I don't even know what you do. Get Gobert out of there. He's antiquated.
Well,
This
Gobert,
is not his era of basketball.
talk about. He does belong in the 60s. But talk about the regular season doesn't matter.
Hmm? The 1 seeds just lost to 4 and 5 seeds.
Yeah, and the 2 defensive player of the year, the top 2 players. Well, I guess Ben Simmons wasn't very bad at defense at the end, but he couldn't score. And Rudy Gobert was bad at defense. He was a liability on the court.
I don't know why it took them so long to say, "Oh, Rudy Gobert is really good at guarding inside. So how about we put no one on the floor that scores inside and everyone that scores outside?"
I don't know.
Genius.
But
so simple.
I think they waited so long to do that because it's an easy fix to stop that. You just take Rudy Gobert out, and then they realize
That they
the
didn't.
Jazz aren't going to do it. They're like, oh, the Jazz won't take him out. We'll just win the game.
Oh no, our best attribute is 3-point shooting, and they have a guy in there that
That's just
literally
gonna
cannot
stand in the
defend
paint,
3-point
yes.
shots.
And Rudy Gobert is good to have when you're facing the Denver Nuggets and you're facing the Lakers with Anthony Davis. But when you're facing Nick Batum and Paul George, and no one's gonna play in the paint, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm. It really was shocking that they just let that happen.
They literally rolled over.
Did.
They rolled over and said, "All right, cool."
Were they up by 22?
20. I think it was
Before?
25. I think it ended up being like 25. And the
I mean,
funniest, one of the funniest parts is the Sixers blew a 25-point lead, and it was all over the place. I feel like I saw 2 Instagram posts about the Utah Jazz blowing this lead.
Yeah,
No one
I
cares.
literally didn't even know that they had lost until like the next day.
No one cares. Absolutely no one cares. My dad, I'm pretty sure, came down the next day and was like, "Oh, did we miss the Clippers Utah game?" And I was like, "No, the Clippers won in 6 like a day ago." And he was like, "Oh, okay, cool. The Jazz are out. Whatever."
I know. I literally didn't even realize. I was like, oh, the Suns are facing the Clippers now.
Oh, we have a comment saying Ben Simmons to the Celtics. I don't,
Need a point guard.
we need a point guard. As long as we don't give up the Jays score. He won't need to score. As long as
Yeah.
whatever coach we hire knows to sub him out with 8 minutes left, I wouldn't mind it. What I don't like is the price.
Him
The
and
price
Smart.
tag.
That's a good
Ugh.
defensive team.
Yeah, but that's imagine the bricks on that one. I guess it won't be bricks because Ben Simmons just won't shoot.
That is Brick City.
Ben Simmons just won't shoot.
Again, you can't. I guess if you do sub him out with 8 minutes left, and that solves that problem. You can't be afraid to shoot if he's not in the game.
I don't like the price tag though. Too much money involved.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you know what's funny? I looked at someone had a fake trade machine up. It's 5 years left on his contract. I was like, Sixers might be stuck
Actually?
with him. I'm pretty sure.
How's that possible?
I think maybe his extension just hasn't even kicked in yet.
I didn't even realize that he had signed an extension.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's playing. He's getting paid big bucks.
I searched Ben Simmons, and the one headline from ESPN says 76ers have planned to address Ben Simmons' shooting woes. Like, I should hope so.
I've seen that same
What else
article
are you
the
gonna do
past
this
3
offseason?
years. Past 3 years, I've seen that same headline.
Then you'll see him in the gym shooting threes, and he hits one. And
They'll
people
be
are
like, Ben Simmons is
Ben
back.
Simmons can be
baby.
dangerous.
Is back. Just wait till Ben Simmons gets his jump shot. It's like I've been waiting.
Yeah,
in
all right.
3 years.
It's like we have literally since he got drafted. I don't know what he does during the offseason.
Dude,
One of
the best
jumpers
tweets
every day.
One of the best tweets I saw was Ben Simmons' GPA was like a 1.87. So if he wasn't 6'10", he'd be screwed. Man.
True.
Yeah, those memes are hilarious though. It's like if
Hmm.
Giannis wasn't 7 feet tall and it shows him driving the UPS truck,
be like
or
working
whatever.
at McDonald's.
Did you see? One of the best ones was if Doc Rivers, if the Lakers won the 2008 title, and it's Doc Rivers making hamburgers at McDonald's. Oh man. All right. Well, we talked about pretty much all the games. I guess the Suns are still whooping it. Why are we still talking about the Suns and 4 guy? I thought that was like a week ago thing.
He had his moment, and now they're
He's a little prolonging his
overdoing
moment.
it a bit.
Yeah, his moments come and past.
It was pretty funny though.
It was funny, and I agree it was like funny, but go fade away into your fame. I don't want to see you again.
Did they do anything for him at the game? I know he's there,
Oh,
right?
I hope not. I bet Devin Booker flew him out though. I mean, he asked
I
for
think
his
he was at
information.
the game.
Yeah, I think Devin Booker flew him out to the game because he said he's from
It's pretty
Denver.
cool.
That'd be sweet.
Hmm.
I did. See
I
that.
love how no one was like, hey, maybe this guy's not so great because he's fighting people at sporting events. I know, they started it, but still, I haven't seen that. I thought I would see that tape.
There's been no zag that like, hey, maybe he's a problem too.
Just thinking about a team like, celebrating this guy that pummeled 2 other fans. I don't know. I have no problem with it. I'm just surprised.
No, I have no problem with it either. And I just think he's not very funny. Like he had his.
Did you listen to any of the interviews that he did though? He actually is
did
very funny.
He is? All right. Because he just kind of looks like a dud. So when I saw that he was getting interviewed, I was like, I don't really care about this guy. Like I don't. Care about
He's not a dud.
All right. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll listen to it.
I think it's only like 15 minutes he did on PMT.
Man, I wish we could do something that cat gets us popped up for fame for 2 weeks.
Start a brawl in the middle.
Yeah, we just start a brawl.
next
Wizards game.
See Defenders game. That sounds like a perfect place.
That would
to start
be
a brawl.
a perfect. The first XFL brawl. That would be perfect.
I bet there's been multiple XFL brawls.
That's true.
It's the type of people that go to those games
are they coming back?
Not scared. Yeah, right.
I could have sworn it said 2020. Like it just utilized my brain that like the next season that it would be 2022, and I think it said 2022 they'll be back.
Yeah, I thought so.
All right, I'm excited to get defending again.
I'm very excited.
I've actually never stopped defending.
They have a summer sale.
They have a summer sale.
50% off team jerseys.
Oh, I might have to cop. 50%. How much is it? Are you on it right now? How much is 50% off?
I'll check. If I remember correctly, they were like $75, $80.
That would be hilarious. I roll up to a function with a Defenders jersey. That would be kind of fire.
$80. So it'd be $40.
That's still kind of expensive.
A little steep.
Yeah, that is a little steep. Do they have a Cardell jersey, or is it just like the 20?
No, they're all number 20.
That's lame.
Gotta change the number to 22.
They should change. I'd buy it but I guess that's why it's on sale. Is that because
You wouldn't buy it?
No, I wouldn't buy it. You have a good point. I'd buy a fake one, but I wouldn't buy that one. I wouldn't even buy it for $40.
I don't even know if the Chinese factories even waste their time with fake XFL jerseys.
Yeah, that's a little rough. But I meant like the XFL could actually really be fun. We'll talk about that whenever.
It was fun.
But I'm saying like if they actually were able to finish the season, that would be fun. I guess that's
especially hosting a playoff game at Audi Field.
Yeah,
this would be buzzing.
Some of the Defenders, yeah. Anyways, are we ready to get into our fantastic top 5 for the week?
I am very pumped.
Okay, well then, take the floor.
You got top 5 man-made structures. How does that? It's got to be made by a man. Person. What?
I never pressed record. I gotta download it off YouTube, so it'll be uploaded tomorrow.
Oh,
Damn
okay.
it.
I was.
No, it's streaming. That's so annoying. All right, well that'll be uploaded tomorrow. Man, I can't believe
You just killed that moment.
I don't know why. I just looked at the button and I was like, why does it say start recording? Pretty sure I already pressed that one.
For some reason I just assumed that meant like we weren't even streaming and we were just talking to each other. That on FaceTime.
That would suck. We're just hanging out.
I mean, we've basically done that before. The episode doesn't record.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And we're just like, well, that was a waste of an hour.
Yep. Yeah. Well, this sucks. All right, we'll just do it
it's
tomorrow.
Really not that big of a deal.
I know. I just like everything being uploaded at once. That's fine. All right. Anyways, sorry to ruin the moment. We're back into it. Let's get pumped for top 5
man-made structures.
Go ahead.
I thought that for some reason when I explained it, you were like confused.
No. I was like,
oh,
I was in my own little world.
Really that deep?
I heard you talk, and I heard you talking too, and you were just like,
anything
built like a man. I was just like, all right, I understand what it is. Okay.
All right, do I have first pick?
Take the reins.
All right, easy one. Pyramids of Giza.
Yep.
I don't understand how they pulled that off.
The man-made structures. My ass. That's a man-made structure, bro. That is no way that is made by a human. And if it is, that's a whole lot of slaves.
Yeah. So that's how they did it with the slaves, obviously. But still, with the technology they had at the time.
They had wheelbarrows. That was the technology at the time. Was wheelbarrows.
Makes no sense.
And there's not much to say about it because I have no idea what they did. They're just like
they're so like perfectly built too.
That goes. Actually, never mind. I won't say what the other structure is because it's in case it's on the list. I don't want to take its thunder. But yeah, it just doesn't make any sense of how they actually did that. But
it's mind-boggling.
It is mind-boggling. So yeah, that's a great man-made structure. My number 1, so that's pretty clear cut.
Nice.
My number 2 is probably my favorite man-made structure since I was always a little kid. I've always wanted to visit it, and one day I will. But it's the Colosseum.
Yeah, the Colosseum is sweet.
The Colosseum is sweet, and apparently, there's no way. Let me Google this real quick before I sound like an idiot because I don't think that this is real or not. But apparently, the Colosseum might be getting rebuilt.
Rebuilt.
And like being used.
Like for games and stuff?
For something.
What if they just brought back like gladiators?
That would be sweet.
It's like had guys like fight tigers and stuff.
Uh, okay, um, let me just see. Let me just see. Okay, maybe I didn't say. Oh, they're rebuilding one of their floors. But it's restoring the arena to its
Okay.
gladiator glory days. That is
That's
sweet.
really cool.
That is
Like, can
sweet.
you imagine the atmosphere of the Coliseum?
Yeah, imagine if they played a goddamn football game in
The
there.
actual
Or
Coliseum?
like, yeah, it's like you are literally sitting in the Coliseum. And the best part about that is like they wouldn't rebuild the side that's broken. So
Mm.
leave that where it's like, oh, you don't get a ticket. Like, sorry, it's not like other stadiums. You either sit up there, you can sit nowhere, because there's nothing on this side. You know what I'm talking about? It's like you look across
Right.
and there's just nothing.
Yeah. It's like the high school bleachers where they're only on one side of the onto the field.
Yeah, exactly. That would be an electric stadium to go to. But
That'd be so cool.
one of my favorite places I've ever seen. I mean, ever like seen
Yeah.
pictures of. I want to see in person.
No, that's a good pick. My second one is it's kind of weird, but it's one of my favorites is Stonehenge. It
Yeah,
just makes no sense.
another
It's just a
another
bunch of stones.
man-made structure. Another man-made
I
structure.
like never understood what it is, but it's just so cool. It's just a
It
bunch of
is cool.
big
And
rocks, like
the coolest thing
circle, and
about
some
it
of them are just
is
lying on the ground.
when the one history teacher goes, and the weird part is these rocks are nowhere in England or whatever. It's like they're from some random place. Like it's nowhere close to where it actually is. And you're just thinking, you're
Ah,
like, well, how did that happen? You're like, how did they get there?
yeah, it,
Like,
it doesn't make
they're
any
giant
sense.
rocks. How did the giant rocks get there?
It's the best part about it is it's so dumb. Like it literally is nothing.
Yeah,
It's just rocks.
it's just a bunch of rocks. But it's
They
but
transported
how'd they do it?
somehow,
But how'd they do
and
it?
it's so cool.
How'd they do it?
It's one of my favorites.
That's a good one. My favorite that I've actually been to is the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower
Yeah.
is really cool when you get there, because when you and even when I do get there, I'm just like, why did someone build this? It's like
Hmm.
someone decided to make a giant point. Stick in the
Wasn't it?
ground. It was a gift. I'm pretty sure, wasn't it?
The Statue of Liberty was a gift.
I know that
Eiffel
was
Tower,
a
I
gift.
think,
Was that
was
not?
part of some like World's Fair.
Oh, okay. And then they just left
I
it.
think I might be wrong about that.
I went
Yeah,
there and I
'cause it
don't
looks
know.
cool.
I think it was. I think it was part of the World's Fair. But the I just think it's cool. Like it's just like a thing that someone built. And like, what is
Hmm.
it? Well, it's the Eiffel Tower. Tower.
Yeah, it's not really anything.
No, it's not. It's just like a tower. It's a triangle. But it is really sweet.
Don't they
And
have like a restaurant up on the top too?
they do. They do have a restaurant up there. And it's like when you're up there, you see the whole city. And it's France. It's Paris, I mean. So that's sweet.
All right, my number 3, the Great Wall of China.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
my
thing is
number.
just
That's my number 4.
So long.
And if I was a Mongolian, I saw that, turn my ass around. No way I'm going across like that. What a perfect defense.
Well, how do you get across it?
What a perfect defense. You go,
climb it?
China's like crap, screwed. Mongolians keep attacking. You know what we're gonna do? Build a giant freaking wall, just right down the center. You're just like, screw you, Mongolia.
Yeah.
Wall.
Can understand why people got so excited when Trump said he's going to build a wall. It's like, now we get a wall too? The Great Wall. It's like, I mean, look at it.
The Great Wall of America. And I never even thought about that. Like, if our wall was any form of cool as the Great Wall, I'd be all for it. Like, if it's a cool wall like that, like that's a sweet wall. The best part about that is like you could just imagine, like if you had a toy of the Great Wall, like in, of course, as size comparison, but like if you had a little Great Wall of China with a bunch of soldiers and stuff, that would be so much fun.
Hmm.
Or like a video game, it's just like your objective is to blow up the Great Wall of China. You're like, oh sweet, we're going to attack the Great Wall of China.
Wall always wins though.
The wall. That's the best. That's the best part. The
Always
wall will
wins.
always stand. All right. You're. I'm up. My next
Hey, you
one.
got it.
It's kind of cheating. A little bit cheating. Disney World.
Okay. I had that.
Yeah, Disney World. Especially they made the whole Star Wars thing, and they're making a whole Avengers thing now. There's nothing they can't do. They'll just make whatever they want.
So big.
It's massive.
It's incredibly big.
The best part is that it's in the middle of nowhere, just like in the middle of Florida. They just build.
It's
Disney World.
Orlando, right?
Well, yeah, but it's like, but if you look around it, that's the whole point of it. Is that nothing's around
It's
it.
true,
So they
yeah.
just keep constantly expanding. Their empire
Uh-huh.
will never. It'll once it's the capital of the world, it'll be really cool. Once Mickey Mouse finally decides to take over the world, it'll be really
Uh-huh.
cool when that's the capital. Because at least we'll be able to have fun at the capital.
Yeah.
DC's like it doesn't even compare to Disney World.
No, it does not.
Both on a swamp. Yeah.
But once that castle thing becomes like the new White House,
Yep. Cinderella's castle.
That'll be pretty cool. Cinderella's castle, yeah.
But,
I feel like we need more castles. Like, why don't we build castles?
Why doesn't America build castles? They like
How did we stop
since
doing it?
We were derived from castles as like from history. We were derived from castles. They're all in
Yeah,
England.
we missed out on the whole
They're
thing.
and there's some in Mexico. There's some in I'm sure there's at least a couple in Canada. There's no real castles in
We need to build a castle.
America besides Cinderella's castle.
No explanation for it either.
No.
It's
Why
like,
didn't
what,
like
we get
well,
lazy?
besides well, I mean
Started building regular buildings?
We had no kings or queens, but
You don't have to stick a king or a queen in there.
that's true. We could have just had a castle.
Like, why don't a bunch of rich dudes just build a castle and make it a boarding school?
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway,
That'd be sweet.
my number 4 is the Easter Island heads.
Yep.
Those guys are awesome.
Those are sweet. What a pointless time, but that guy was just bored. Just chiseling away, making the Easter Island heads. He's like, look what I made. And the guy, someone else probably like, you know what, I'm bored too.
Yeah,
Let's
let's just keep
start
on
chiseling
doing it.
away. They look pretty funny, so let's just put them all over the place.
They do. They are so goofy looking.
Oh, they're perfect. They're the derp face. They're just like the perfect stunts.
Perfect.
Yeah, they're perfect.
Yeah. Do they have any like significance? Like, do they symbolize anything? Do you know? Or are they literally
Not
just
that I'm
a bunch
aware of.
heads?
I'm pretty sure they're just a bunch of heads.
Okay.
That's the story of they lost all their resources, right? In Easter Island, and they came to the island. Someone visited
Think
them,
so.
there's a bunch of heads. More
Yeah, I
people
think
should
so.
have been like the Easter Island head guys instead of like the let's take all the resources guys. They're just using a rock, just chiseling away.
All right. That's what they did for recreation then. Just like, yeah, let's just build a big stone head.
Probably. All right, my next one is the Forbidden City.
Yeah, Forbidden City's sick.
I mean, he's got an army all made out of stone to himself. Isn't that the same thing? That's what we're talking about. The same thing. That's Forbidden City, is it not? But the Emperor made all the
Out of
soldiers
stone.
out of stone. Is that not what I'm talking? Am I thinking of different ones? Let me look it up.
I don't.
You can tell we did a
don't
lot
know,
of
actually.
good research for this one.
It definitely wasn't decided on 10 minutes before.
How long did we have? We had, I think 8 minutes. I think we had 8 minutes. Yeah, the Forbidden City soldiers. It's the
Okay.
the army that the terracotta army. Come on, we learned this in Mr. Kachansky's class.
Well, that would explain why I don't know it.
He was the first emperor of China. He made this so when he thought that the army would protect him in the afterlife. So he's buried down there. So he's got his own personal army.
Smart guy. I
That
guess.
is sweet. Talk about envy. I'm an envy of.
I just think that the temple thing is cool.
Yeah, the temple itself is also sweet.
I didn't even know about the soldiers.
Oh yeah, it came with the soldiers. Like if I think I want to die with a bunch of army, with an army around me. That's how I want.
No better way to go out than that.
Yeah, you gotta have a bunch of friends.
They all have your back.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. All right, you're up.
All right, my number 5 is a personal favorite, Panama Canal.
Ugh.
Had to be on there.
The Panama Canal
Had to
is
have it
classic.
on there.
I totally forgot that was technically a man-made. There's probably a lot that we've missed, but you know
Hmm.
what? You know what else is interesting? Speaking of top 5 things that we missed, this is off topic, but I did get a lot of people saying like giving their favorite children's books that they were like, "I can't believe you missed this one." I was
Nice.
like,
Really?
thanks for listening." But anyways, the Panama Canal classic. Who doesn't love the Panama Canal?
It's classic. I have nothing else to like really say about it either. It's
No,
just
remember that was
it's a personal favorite.
when you hold the Panama Canal, you hold all trade.
That's right.
You hold control of all trade, baby.
Yep.
Um,
Trade Panama Canal. Like, what are
yes.
we gonna do?
Okay, my last one. I'm gonna go with another one that I'm gonna go with because I went to there is the Louvre. The Louvre's pretty sweet,
Oh yeah,
and
I
that's
forgot
also
about the
sort of
Louvre.
cheating because there's a lot of things in the Louvre that is also pretty sweet. Like it's a whole museum. You
Hmm.
spend days in there. So, uh, it was also funny going in there right before COVID because that's like right before it happened, but it was a thing, which wasn't a thing in France. Everyone with the mask. I was
Hmm.
like, please get away from me. I was like, you don't wear. I was like, you don't. My initial reaction was when I was in Germany and France was, you're not wearing a mask unless you're contagious.
Hmm.
Like, why would you wear a
Yeah,
mask if
right.
you're not worried about it? So everyone that had a
Right.
mask, I was just like, get out.
Stay away from.
Stay away from me. One time, I waited in one room because the whole next room was just full of a bunch of tourists with masks, and I was
Hmm.
like, not stepping in that one.
Gross.
Yep, that's how you get coronavirus. But yeah, the Louvre, pretty fun, pretty cool.
The Louvre also now reminds me of Twitter because anytime there's any picture ever, it's hanging to the Louvre.
Oh, so I haven't even seen. Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. I've seen a couple of those. I haven't seen a ton of them, but I've seen a couple.
I feel like I see it all the time.
Also,
Maybe I'm being dramatic.
We might need to do top 5 overrated things. Would also be a great one.
Top 5
Because-
overrated.
Because what's the painting? The famous painting. I'm totally blanking. Cause
Mona Lisa?
Yes, the Mona Lisa.
That's
sucks.
the self-portrait.
It's garbage.
Suck.
It's garbage.
If you can so easily like recreate it, there's so many fake ones out there. They all look the same.
Dude, you're telling me I saw it in person. It was garbage. There was an hour line for it, and I said I'm just gonna walk around the side and see it from the side, and it's gonna look just as good because I've seen it a million times printed on everything.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
And it's not even that big. Like it'd be impressed if it was like the whole wall. It's just like an actual. It's just like a painting. I'm just like, all right, like it's cool.
I don't know.
Like I understand there's like a whole. If you're an art person, there's a whole like, thing with it where it's like he's painted it so perfectly, but we're getting better
People
now.
just
We can
make
take-
stuff up
yeah.
to like
Yeah.
impress themselves.
Yes, it is.
It's like
it's very
all the power
underwhelming.
to them.
I have a. I'll have to put. I'll show you the picture, and we can put it on the Instagram. I have a picture of me taking a selfie from the corner spot that I have, and it's just like in the background. I'm like me and Mona Lisa, just hanging out.
They let you take pictures?
Oh, in the Louvre, yeah, they let you take pictures.
Okay. It's like French people would get.
Yeah.
About that.
No, they do though. They're cool. All right, that's all I got. Honorable
Okay.
mention time.
So honorable mentions. I had Empire State Building.
Okay.
I know it's not like the tallest,
No,
but
yeah.
it's
Empire-
just something about it.
Yeah.
And then Jerry World.
Say again.
That place, Jerry World.
The hell is
TNT
Jerry World?
Stadium. Cowboy Stadium.
Oh, yeah, Jerry World.
That place is
That place
pretty
is
incredible.
sweet.
It's massive.
You could do a lot of different stadiums too. I'm sure the Minnesota
Hmm.
Vikings one is a marvelous stadium. And I'm excited to see what the Raiders one looks like when it's opened up to the public because that'll be also marvelous.
Like the Death Star.
Yeah, the Death Star, and I'm
It has
sure
a nightclub.
SoFlo Stadium. That's the new one. The electric field of
SoFi.
SoFi. I'm sure that one's great too.
Hmm.
But I think Jerry World still tops pretty much all of them. I'm assuming.
Obviously, I hate them. I hate the Cowboys, but that place is it's incredible.
I think that's one of the things I want to do is try to get to every major football stadium.
Hmm.
That'd be sweet.
I have a bucket list of like places that I want to go.
I think that's what Bill Burr
Stadiums,
does.
I mean. Hmm?
Bill Burr does.
I mean, when you're
every
that
stadium.
rich, it's just like
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. That's true. All right. My 2 honorable mentions are the Bay Bridge. Just,
Yeah, nice.
respect to the Bay Bridge. It's a pretty long bridge.
Cool.
And then the Chicago Bean. The little, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the bean. The bean's sweet. I've never
What
seen
is
it.
the bean?
It's a bean. That's the best part about the bean. Is that it has no purpose. It's just a
Yeah,
bean.
I've never understood it.
Uh,
Cool though.
no, I've never seen it in person, but I want to. Like I actually generally want to just to see the bean.
No, I would like to as well.
But yeah, those are my honorable mentions.
I'm sure we missed some. But
Oh,
I think we got
Yeah. And this
we
was
got
better.
most of the good
This was
ones.
a better list than I thought. This was way better than Bodies of Water. We definitely talked a lot more about this than we did Bodies of Water.
There
Sounds
wasn't
good
much to say about Bodies of
the
Water.
old Bodies of Water. One of the best episodes of all time. Just
Yes,
us
definitely.
naming Bodies of Water. All right, I think that does it. We did a pretty packed episode. All right, well, due to my mistake, we will have the recording up tomorrow. Thanks to everyone watching, and see you guys all on Friday. So.